Hi, welcome back to The Advantage. I'm your host, Greg Roulette, and I am very excited to bring to you our guest for today's episode. He is someone who is out there changing the landscape of what it means to have an experience. Experience, whether it's the people you interact with on a social level, the experiences you have in travel, and the experiences that you have in everyday life. And he's packaged it all into a new company called ORU. His name is Nick VandenBrekel. Nick, welcome to the show.
It's great to be back.
Yeah, exactly, man. I know the last time we talked, again, so much happening, and so much is happening fast. People are jumping on board, but still the number one question I'm sure you get asked on a daily basis is, what in the world is ORU?
Exactly.
What is it?
Exactly. And it's natural, right? When they hear about something new,
right,
they want to know, well, what is it? And the cool thing about what we've experienced is through the feedback of people, is we've kind of simplified what our network is really all about.
Yeah.
And you know what the irony is? The more people were trying to figure out what kind of experience we realized we're an experience. You know, we're an experience. So what does that mean when people say, what do you do? And we say we're an experience. We're the ORU experience. And what it really means is that everything you do every day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, is an experience.
Right.
You're experiencing things, transactions, behavior. Whether you're buying your first cup of coffee, whether you are taking an Uber, whether you're doing things at work, or later in the grocery store, you're buying your groceries, or go to a restaurant to eat, or communicating. You know, you're chatting with somebody, you're maybe posting on a social network. All of these things are an experience that touch you. Mm-hmm. So ORU is an experience because all of these things that you already do are part of our experience, with the exception that we pay you for it, right?
Right.
So think about it this way. Everything you're already doing, with the exception of maybe sleeping and breathing,
right,
if you do them in collaboration with or part of our network, we pay you for it. And this is a radical new way of thinking in the 21st century socially connected world.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody is now connected and everybody is sharing. You're spending a lot of time every day sharing. But the traditional model doesn't take into account that your time is valuable and that these experiences are valuable. And we're saying it's about time that you get rewarded and compensated for your experiences.
Right.
So that's what we are. We're an experience.
I love that. And to kind of break down some context for folks, there's other social networks that are out there, and we spend a lot of time on them, right? We say, here's what I'm doing today, or here's where I just ate, and all these things. And what we're really doing is we're building those businesses. We're using our time, our money, our resources to build that company. And in this instance, we're doing the same things, right? I'm still going to get coffee. I'm still going to do this. I'm still meeting up with friends. But now, if we're a part of this community, if we're a part of this ORU network, you're going to reward me for helping to be a part of the network.
Yeah, and you actually mentioned a word there, which is really part of our everyday vernacular right now, is community.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be part of a community, and we're all socially connected within the community. So you're right, these traditional companies that have been out there, and certainly were innovative when they started, back in the day when the kind of social sharing was brand new. But their model simply doesn't function anymore, because what they are in reality doing is they are taking who you are, and what you represent, and they're selling it.
Right.
It's like this monetization of your data, with or without your consent. It doesn't. A lot of times we know it happens, and you may not know about it, as we have most recently seen in the news, right? But the point is, your experience, your engagement, but then your data literally being monetized and sold by somebody else, without any benefit to you specifically. So that model just doesn't work anymore. And people are really starting to realize that, wait a second, on an average day, I will spend time transacting myself, sharing, socializing, communicating, even gaming. Mm-hmm. But you know what? What's in it for me? And how am I getting a benefit out of this? So this is, I think, a game changer at the right time in the right place to address what's going on in the world.
Yeah, so if I hear about ORU and what you guys are building, and I'm going to get rewarded for sharing my experiences and using and leveraging my experiences through the ORU marketplace, through the ORU community, the ORU network, and I'm like, man, this sounds interesting. How do I get started? How do I, what's the first step that I need to take to be a part of this community?
Well, of course, since we're all connected, what are we most connected through? what is the single thing that is on your body or close to you, right? This is a smartphone.
It's the phone. Right? Yeah, they're right below us.
So
right
while
now.
we certainly have a website, you have that kind of presence, but we're very smartphone centric because that is the one device that you always have with you, and it's part of that daily experience that you have.
Yeah.
So you simply download the app, from the App Store or from Google Play, whether you have an iPhone or an Android, and you download it and you register, and you're done. And then all of that functionality that we have becomes available to you.
Wow. And do you immediately start experiencing, I know we've talked in previous episodes about some of the benefits that you guys have, whether they're travel benefits or all kinds of different things, right then and there?
Right then and there. So what's important to understand is that these experiences through our network need to still line up with what you're doing every day. So part of our network is the ability for you to buy things, sell things, trade things, communicate, travel, all of these things that you're doing. So yes, these benefits immediately are available to you, and they're not just benefits. They come with tremendous value, right? And especially travel. You take travel, for example. Travel is, as you know, a huge industry, and everybody wants to travel. Everybody wants to kind of get away. So what if you were able to do that, do it in a network that gives you 60-70% off of travel?
Yeah.
I mean, those are just some things that we're not trying to necessarily replace things in your life. What we do is we want to give you an alternative and reward you for that alternative, but at the same time give you that benefit of the alternative as well from a discount standpoint.
Yeah, you keep saying rewards you.
Yes.
Right? And as we were getting ready to go on camera today, he said, people just keep asking me, how do I get rewarded? How do the rewards work? How do I actually get paid
So one word,
as a part of this?
One word. Very, very simple. If experience is your engagement, then participation is your engine, right?
Yeah.
This is what you do. You participate in your experience, and we can all relate to that. So what we've done, very simply, is pay you for participating. So there's two ways to do that.
Yeah.
Right? And we try to keep things really, really simple.
Yeah.
Because when it's simple, people can immediately look at it and say, we get that, right?
Yeah.
So the one way to do that is to simply share the experience of our network with somebody else. I mean, it's pretty simple. Hey, listen, we're part of this network. We love it. We get all the benefits, and we like to share it with you. When you do that, you get paid. Right? When they do that, you get paid. So there is a networking component to it, but it is a 21st century way of looking at how you socially share with others, which you do anyway.
Yeah.
When you friend somebody, when you do certain things within your social community, you're sharing.
Right.
You're not getting paid for it.
Nope.
So we're paying you for that. The other part, which is really important on participation, is really cool. Right? So when you participate, there's X amount of time and effort you put in your participation. So when you do, you can kind of measure that, right?
Right.
Well, this is kind of a fun thing you can do right now. If I can kind of measure what you do, just from an engagement standpoint, when are you communicating? I don't care what you're communicating or who you're communicating with. Just the fact that you are communicating, or that you're buying something, or that you're traveling somewhere. Those are all engaging experiences. And I can measure that, and we score that. We just give you a score, like an arcade game.
Yeah.
We make it a fun gaming experience, doing the things you are already doing. And then at the end of every week, we pay you for that as well.
Every week?
Every week, yes. So when you share, you get paid, and then every week, we pay what's called a participation reward. And that's really cool because every week you can see, hey, this is my score, participation, this is really cool, this is fun, because you know that every week you're going to get a bonus.
Wow.
So there's two ways that you get paid, and it's really transparent, and you get paid, and you get a notification on your smartphone app, so you know you get it, that money is instantaneously available to you, and you can withdraw that money to your ORU Visa card. So we have our own Visa card as well.
I love that. So you can withdraw it to that ORU Visa card, and then you go buy the family dinner tonight.
Correct.
Treat yourself. Do whatever you want to do with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do the things you are already doing. And that's really the key element. And one of the things that I'm doing when I'm speaking to people around the world is to really see and get the feedback of the experience and participation element. So there's two key words here that it keeps coming back to. Number one is the experience of your everyday behavior.
Right.
And number two, your participation within those experiences. And that's our world today. And it will evolve even more.
Yeah.
All we're saying is it's about time that somebody is paying you for it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What I'm sure you get to hear great stories all the time from some of your community members, people that are out there doing this. But what are they saying to you? What are some of the stories that stick out to you of people who are participating? They are telling people about the network. They are helping you to grow, but they are getting rewarded for their participation. What are you hearing from them?
We're hearing a lot of different things, but a lot of the same things. Number one is how simple it is.
Yeah.
If you have a smartphone, you're done. Right? I mean, it's literally super simple to register. And right away, you have these benefits at your fingertips. So it's simple. It's also easy to explain to somebody else because everybody in your group, in your family, in your friend group is sharing those same experiences.
Yeah.
May not all be the same, may not all be in the same country, may not all be in the same language, but you're all sharing these same experiences. So people relate to that. The really interesting aspect is that everybody knows they are participating in a variety of these experiences and somebody else is making the money. And now you see, especially the younger generation is saying, wait a second. I am really not cool with you taking all I am, everything I am, all of my data, and you're just selling it to somebody else, in return for which you blast me with advertising that I never wanted in the first place.
Right.
Again, this was okay years ago because that model worked. That model doesn't work anymore. Right? The model now has changed into you want to be in control of your own data. If you want to communicate something you do to somebody else, you do that on your terms. You do that in the way you participate.
Yeah.
And the network needs to acknowledge that you're spending time doing that on their network. And you should be compensated for that. And that's what we hear a lot. We hear a lot of things about how fast it is. It's like, hey, I told a friend about it, and they became a member of the network, and I got paid right away. I didn't have to wait a day or a week or a month. I got paid right away. And I could use that money right away.
Yeah.
I made a payment the other day to somebody. It was instantaneous. It was absolutely amazing. So speed, simplicity, and the mindset.
Yeah.
So it's and we're hearing more and more of that, and I'm hoping to hear
even
more of these stories just on an ongoing basis.
The last time I saw you, we were actually both at a conference.
Yes.
And I remember walking by, we were at one of the restaurants, walking by dinner, and you were engaged in a conversation with a teenager.
Yes.
I don't remember how old she was, 15
years old.
15 years
Yes.
old. And she was fascinated by this, and you were showing her the app and showing her some of the benefits and things like that. What did you learn from that experience and sharing that with her?
What I learned is she gave me a harder time than any adult would give you because they are so plugged in.
Yeah.
They have such a alternate view on this connected world than adults have. Even millennials. So she's considered Generation Z.
Right. Well, and you're not a rookie. You've been in the technology world for a long time.
Been around
right?
for a while, and even I had to come to grips while we are on the technology side is that some of this technology would socially connect people, right? That doesn't mean you necessarily understand the mindset and the psychology behind it. So
because there's humans behind that are using the technology.
So you have this 15-year-old who is smart as a tack, and is just grilling me and quizzing me about the why and the how. And so if you ever wanted to have an audience that was going to give you feedback as to, is what you're doing even applicable, you may as well do it through a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing conversation. I was astounded with her level of knowledge relating to social sharing and the current communities that are involved in that. And she got it. She got it. She got very excited about it. But more than anything else, what I got out of that conversation was that she, as since many others as well, it's about time. Mm-hmm. It's about time. So I think because of that, we know that we're doing something
You're on the right track.
that is very timely.
Yeah.
And it is about time that somebody's doing it.
And Nick, I love the fact that you are rewarding folks for participation. You're rewarding them for these experiences that they're doing every day. But I think even just, I have the question that I'm sure a lot of your users do too, is how does it work? How can you afford to pay me? Because these other networks need to make money off of me to keep their engineers on staff and make profit for their shareholders. How does this work?
Well, I think it's incredibly important if you're building a community that your members know exactly what is happening. Right? There's no hidden stuff. There has to be transparency. Yeah, because otherwise you're just, again, selling something that may not be true. So we made it very, very simple. There's only really two aspects to being a member, being associated with our network. There's a one-time activation fee of $30.94. Okay? Very simple, $30.94. Well, let me tell you how that $30.94 breaks down.
Sure.
Okay? $19 out of that $30.94 is going directly back to the members in the form of this sharing bonus. All right? And you can find how that happens, on the website exactly. But I just want to make sure that the numbers are understood.
Yeah.
So that's $19. An additional $10 is being used for us to produce, manufacture, ship your ORU Visa card, which when you are a member, you automatically get the ORU Visa prepaid card. Okay? And there's several other things that we simply pay for. So it's a cost to us. It comes out of that. That's the first expense. The second one, from that, and it's a one-time only. It's a one-time activation fee. And people understand, when they become a member of a YMCA or a club or something, there's an activation fee. And we wanted to keep it really low, and it's a one-time. $30.94. The second one is a monthly membership fee of $5.95. That's less than 20 cents a day. It was very intentional. We wanted to make all of our network affordable to most people.
Right.
But how does the $5.95 break down? Right? So out of that $5.95, $2.50 goes back in a residual bonus to all of our members on a monthly basis. Right? And again, it's a system we call protocol. That's how we reward people and how we pay people. Yeah. Right? $3, so that's $2.50. Now we take another $3, and $3 goes into this participation bonus that we pay every Saturday. Right? So that's how the numbers break down. So if the question is, this sounds fantastic, we see how people are getting paid, but now we know where the money is coming from. The only question that would remain would be a logical question is, wow, that is a substantial portion of what the company brings in and what the network brings in, from the activation as well as from the monthly membership. And that's exactly right. That's part of our model. Our model is that if we give the majority of what we take in back to our members to reward them for their participation and their experiences, and we don't keep the majority of it, we'll be fine. We have enough to pay our expenses. Mm-hmm. We have enough to keep the lights on. Yeah. We have enough to continue to develop our technology. Right? But we're doing it as a network with the members. We're not doing it so that we are here making a bundle of money and you are there making nothing and we use you to make more money. It's a fundamental different way of thinking. And it is really right in line with the social sharing mentality. Mm-hmm. It's important for us that every member knows and every potential member knows where the money comes from and where the money is going. Yeah. The math is pretty simple and the math is absolute. And that's part of us just being transparent to everybody. So that's how that works. Right.
I want to talk just for a second about some of the benefits. I know you're always looking at ways to enhance membership, enhance benefits. The last time I was talking to you, interviewing you, we talked about some of the travel benefits, things like that. Any new benefits that come to mind or just things that people have been talking about that's got you excited for your members?
The interesting part of being a technology-driven company is that we're always building new things, right? Yeah. We're always inventing, we're always creating. So we're looking at these experiences. We're looking at these engagements. We're looking at your participation. And we're just trying to see how can we make them faster, more efficient, and more enjoyable. And that's what we're doing. So we're looking at every aspect of that, and we say, where can we add something that gives you an additional benefit, that keeps you engaged, right? But more importantly, and I think this is one of those elements that people are going to care about, is we care about your engagement in the community, we care about your participation in the community. We don't care about your data. Now, I mean, that seems very counterintuitive, right?
That's not how every technology company is playing it right now.
Because isn't the data and the monetization of your data what ultimately makes these companies money? Yes, it is. Yeah? But I don't think it's the right way to do it. I think data is important, but I think data is important to you, and it is up to you how you want to share it. And you're the one that consents how that data is being shared. Not somebody else on your behalf with or without your consent, or you may think you didn't give consent and then they did it anyway, right?
Yeah.
So the benefits such as travel, that are important to a lot of people. But for example, and this is a really, really good new one that we're introducing, is a payment mechanism, where we're not only introducing a new efficiency of how you pay for things, but we're upsetting the apple cart, my friend. We are disrupting the, again, traditional way that things are being done. I can tell you a little bit about it if you want me to.
Yeah, go for it. I'd love to.
So take your typical merchant store, maybe a clothing store, if you will, or a retail shop. It could be, small, it could be mom and pop, it could be maybe a small chain of stores. So when you walk into that store and you buy something, you usually go to the cash register, right? And then what do you usually do? What is your experience at that point in time? Well, you pull out your debit card, your credit card, maybe cash. Who else uses cash still? And you pay for your item. Okay. If you're paying with a credit card or a debit card, then it gets swiped on whatever system. That money now has to be processed. Right. And ultimately, you, the merchant, the store owner, gets that money, and you pay a fee for that.
Correct.
And depending on the service and depending on the system, it can be anywhere between 3 and 6%, sometimes even higher.
Right.
Now imagine that all of that went away. Now imagine that I would walk into your store, and I'm a member of the ORU network, and you are a member of the ORU network, and by your cash register, all you have is your QR code. So I walk in, I buy that item for $20, I walk up to the cash register, I scan your code, I pay the $20, it goes directly into your account instantaneously within a millisecond, so the money is immediately available to you, and you paid no fees.
That's a game changer. Because the fees obviously eat at margin.
Yes.
They add to cost. They add to all kinds of things.
Oh, and by the way, you did not have to purchase any system. No new cash register, no
POS
tablets,
system,
no POS systems, nothing. All you needed was just your smartphone and your code sitting by. Now, imagine you're a restaurant. Now you give somebody the bill. You give them your card. They take it away from you.
Right.
Where are you going? Where's my card? Okay. They bring it back to you.
Hopefully
they
bring it back in one piece. And
Hopefully
no data breaches.
No data breaches, right? It comes back. You take paper with you. That's still the way they do things today. Okay. How about you just got either on an electronic device or just on a slip, just a QR code, right? And this is how much the bill is. You scan the code.
Done.
You put in the amount, add the tip. The restaurant immediately got the money, instantaneously, right? And they paid no merchant fee. Do you think that that's of interest to any merchant out there?
To every merchant out there.
Now that by itself, just that by itself, is a game-changing technology. To us, it's just another benefit of the network that is accessible to you, whether you are an individual or whether you're a business.
Wow.
No extra costs, you don't pay any extra fees. It's just part of it. So I think that's a good explanation when you say you're always building new benefits and new features, and we will continue to do that. We just want to make sure that that you always feel that you got value in return for your participation in the network.
Wow. Really, really powerful. And again, simplicity, experiences. These are things that we're already doing every single day.
Every single day.
And now I'm getting rewarded for it. Now, Nick, another thing that I've been hearing a lot about is this travel key, this ORU travel key. Tell me a little bit about that.
So the travel key is another function of our network. It's really, really cool. So when you are a member, you can go onto the website and you can generate what's called a travel key, because we have ORU Travel, which is our travel company. Now the travel key is a fun way to give you some amazing travel benefits. So you go to the ORU Travel website and you see very competitive pricing. Very competitive, it's very similar to other travel sites.
Right.
Now there is a way for you to enter that key that you generate. It's part of the experience, right? And when you enter that key, it unlocks huge benefits. So if you were to book a room for $400 a night, you know, in a nice hotel,
right,
and you entered that key, all of a sudden it's $90. Okay, so anything within that travel universe, we have developed this really amazing technology which interacts with all of these pricing models of these travel providers that are available on our travel site, on our travel network. Mm-hmm. So you go and have the fun experience to generate this key. You go look for some great deals. Because you are a member, you can take that key and enter it into the travel site, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, you know, you get all of these amazing deals.
Yeah.
So the travel key, or the key concept, you know, within ORU is just a really fun way for us to give you, you know, active participation and active engagement, creating your own benefits, which are already available to you. We're just making it fun.